So question, if someone is addicted to drugs and an autopsy is performed, shouldn't drugs be found in the system?
That was a good man, y'all. That was such a beautiful person, y'all, man. We didn't agree on everything, but I can't believe she did this, man. And I ain't attacking her personally, man. But you lying, bro. You lying on it for some money? Girl.
All right, y'all. You might want to grab a seat and brace yourselves because this one is messy. So, tWitch's brother is out here dragging Ellen DeGeneres, and y'all, he's straight up accusing her of allegedly playing a role in tWitch's emotional breakdown that led to his passing. According to him, Ellen baited tWitch into attending one of Diddy's infamous parties, and that's where he was reportedly SA'd. Now here's where it hits even harder. Remember when tWitch's wife, Alison, revealed she found journal entries where tWitch talked about being SA'd as a child by a male figure? Well, his brother is claiming that what happened at that party re-triggered that deep trauma, and it sent tWitch into a dark spiral he couldn't pull himself out of. But girl, it doesn't stop there. tWitch's brother is also calling out Alison, accusing her of covering up what she knew. He alleges that she found out everything, including details from tWitch's journals about Ellen allegedly handing him over to Diddy. And instead of taking that to the police, Sis is being accused of selling the diary to Ellen for a hefty check. This is some next level mess. So yeah, sit tight, because we need to unpack all of this. For a little context, tWitch tragically passed in 2022 under circumstances that immediately had fans and the public scratching their heads. According to reports, just before his passing, he checked into a hotel that was only a 15-minute walk from his home. And the strange part was that he didn't even take his car. His wife, Alison, started panicking when she realized he wasn't home, wasn't answering any calls or texts, and his car was still sitting in the driveway. That's when her gut told her something was seriously wrong, and she went ahead and filed a missing persons report. The whole situation fell off from the jump, and it only got more unsettling from there. As news of his disappearance spread, the motel where he had stayed contacted the police, reporting that they had discovered tWitch in the bathroom. Upon arrival, the police quickly determined that he had passed from a shot wound. Now here's where things get even more mysterious. Although it was reported that tWitch left a note behind, the feds never actually revealed what it said. But according to a source in the LAPD, the note did mention some of the past struggles and challenges he had been dealing with. They didn't go into detail, but it was enough to suggest he had been carrying some serious emotional weight for a while. Now, a lot of people have been asking the same heartbreaking question. What was tWitch going through that led him to unalive himself? Well, 2 years after his tragic passing, his wife, Alison, is finally opening up and sharing some deeply personal, never-before-heard stories about who tWitch was when the cameras weren't rolling. She recently revealed that while sorting through his belongings and reading his journal entries, she uncovered a side of tWitch that even she didn't fully know.
It was a really scary moment in my life to figure that out, but it also helped me process that he was going through so much and he was hiding so much, and there must have been a lot of shame in that, and he was wrestling with a lot inside himself, and he was trying to self-medicate and cope with all those feelings because he didn't want to put it on anyone. Because he loved everyone so much. He didn't want other people to take on his pain. But it was very alarming and scary to find those things and have never known.
One of the most gut-wrenching things she discovered was that tWitch had been SA'd by a male figure during his childhood, a trauma he kept buried for years. And y'all, it left fans shocked. After Alison's emotional reveal about what tWitch went through, it didn't take long before people started connecting the dots, and suddenly tWitch's tragic passing was being linked to Ellen and Diddy. Now, if you didn't know, Ellen and Diddy aren't just industry friends, they're very close. Diddy appeared on The Ellen Show a record 17 times, and y'all, the red flags were sitting in plain sight this whole time. Fans even resurfaced an old episode of the show where Diddy was the guest, and let's just say the vibes were off. During their convo, Ellen jokingly asked if she was invited to his birthday party, and Diddy was like, "Girl, you're always invited. Harmless, right?" But then Ellen laughs and says she usually skips the parties because they're on the East Coast. Now here's where it gets weird. Diddy starts talking about his infamous after parties, the ones that allegedly go down on the second and third floors of hotels. And y'all, Ellen slipped. She straight up said she already knew about them. Then just as quick, she tried to play it off, saying she only knew because Diddy raps about them in his songs.
Your birthday party, am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties, you just haven't seen the show up.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's the... Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party.
Uh-huh.
No, it'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, you know, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
And then it will carry on there.
Yeah. Then No, I mean the after party.
No, I know about them. I'll listen to the music. I've heard that song, After Party.
And y'all, it just keeps getting darker. There's this old clip that's now making rounds again. Diddy on the Ellen show, openly telling Ellen how he stays up until 6 a.m. every day because he enjoys making love.
What time do you stay up till?
I stay up till like maybe 6 in the morning. I'm back up at like 10:30, 11.
6 in the morning? What do you do every night till 6 in the morning? You don't go to clubs every night.
No, I mean, I make love a lot. And, you know,
That's
Ellen,
my favorite answer ever.
And while it might have seemed like Diddy just being Diddy at the time, everything we now know about Diddy makes it very disturbing. But here's where things get disturbing. According to industry insiders, Ellen wasn't going to those infamous parties alone. Sources say she often brought Twitch with her, and allegedly, Twitch would tell his wife Alison that it was all work-related, never mentioning Diddy or the nature of those gatherings. But from what's been uncovered in Twitch's journals and all the whispers behind the scenes, it's looking like Ellen may have baited him into attending one of those parties where he was reportedly essayed by Diddy. Now, if you've been keeping up with the Diddy drama, you already know he's been exposed for allegedly lacing his victims' drinks or food with powerful sedatives, including one that turned out to be a horse tranquilizer. So the rumor is Twitch was drugged at one of these parties, blacked out, and woke up the next day knowing something awful had happened. Now, while fans were initially relieved to see Twitch's wife, Alison finally speaking up about what he went through before his tragic passing, Twitch's brother came in and shook the internet. And y'all, not only did he call out Ellen DeGeneres for allegedly playing a role in Twitch's death, but he also put Alison on blast, accusing her of hiding major truths about what went down and what was written in Twitch's journals. Now y'all, just when you thought things couldn't get any messier, Twitch's brother dropped a bombshell that's got the internet in total disbelief. He's now alleging that Ellen DeGeneres baited Twitch into attending one of Diddy's parties, knowing full well what went down at those gatherings. According to him, it was at that party that Diddy allegedly had his way with Twitch, which tragically caused him to relive childhood trauma he had buried deep for years. And that, Twitch's brother claims, was a major factor that led to what happened to Twitch. But it doesn't stop there. Twitch's brother is also calling out his wife, Alison, and he is alleging that she's been hiding a whole lot of information surrounding Twitch's death. Inside sources claim he's even accusing Alison of selling Twitch's journal to Ellen for a fat paycheck, because allegedly what's written in there is so damning, it could have gotten her locked up for a long time if it ever went public or went. Twitch's brother calling out Alison may not be surprising, because behind the scenes, Twitch's wife and his family haven't exactly been on good terms since his passing. The family's been vocal about believing that Alison is keeping key details to herself. Things hit another level when, just weeks after Alison did that emotional interview where she opened up about Twitch's alleged addiction struggles, Twitch's cousin clapped back hard, accusing her of trying to exploit his legacy for media attention and a quick check. And get this, the cousin didn't stop there. She claimed that Alison forced Twitch's family to sign an NDA just to attend his burial. Like, what were they not supposed to see or say? She then hopped on Twitter to let it be known that something ain't adding up with the narrative Alison's been pushing. She tweeted, "She won't let the family see the kids. He wasn't an addict. He smoked weed and was actively trying to quit. He wasn't some junkie." She also tweeted, "Yeah, it gaff about an NDA. This crazy woman made me and his actual family, including his mother, sign an NDA just to even attend the funeral. girl. She's been trying to tarnish his legacy and refuses to let the Boss family see the children, only to exploit and lie on my cousin. Hell no. Twitch's brother dragging Ellen DeGeneres for baiting him to Diddy and his wife Alison for hiding the truth had fans talking, and they left comments saying Alison is hiding something. The casualties of those who hung out with Diddy are tragic. I always thought Ellen was somehow involved in Twitch's demise. Then the Diddy stuff started coming out, and I knew he was a victim. It actually seems like Diddy knew something we didn't. I heard him literally say, no, I don't want no problems. When Ellen tried to give him the t-shirt, Diddy literally took that t-shirt. So do you think Twitch's brother may have been right about Alison Holker selling Twitch's diary and journals to Ellen? Or do you think he made this whole allegation up because his family and Alison are not on good terms? Let me know what you think in the comments, then check out this next video.